All right. All right. I found a new way to make videos now, to make content. So I got that finally figured out. And I think it's time now for the movie review. So stay tuned. What's up, fellow cinephiles? This is Dominic from Film Overload, the channel where we talk about movies, pop culture, and everything in between. Today we are back with another video, and I'm going to be reviewing Bullet Train, directed by David Leitch. This was released in theaters back in August and is now readily available to stream on Netflix. And I watched it on Netflix in the comfort of my own home, and I wanted to give my 2 cents about it. Now, back when this movie came out, I watched the trailer and I knew it was a wild time. Of course, being from David Leitch, the guy who directed Deadpool 2, he's back with a new feature, and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. That's kind of the spoiler alert before we get too far into it. But before we get too far into that, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell notifications every time. It will alert you when I post a video. I'm going to try and post more on here now since I found a new method of how to film videos, like I mentioned in the beginning of this video. Yeah, stay tuned. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell notifications for every time I post a video. Now, I have to be honest, this year has been pretty mixed in terms of movies. There's been a couple of good ones, there's been a lot of bad ones. So when I finally got a chance to watch Bullet Train, I was pleasantly surprised and it felt like a breath of fresh air. David Leitch creates a world where you are just enthralled with the world around the story. I think that's really important. It's really the setting behind the movie that's really the highlight of the movie. There is a lot of good storytelling. There's a couple of hiccups here and there that I'll get to in a little bit, but I have to say this is a very well-made movie. It is a very fast-paced movie, especially for it being over 2 hours. It didn't feel like it dragged. It was the perfect mix of action, comedy, adventure, and a little bit of suspense, I would say, in there too. The film is wildly entertaining. Just a lot of things being, a lot of fight scenes, a lot of funny jokes, a lot of character development, which is surprising, especially for a movie in this particular genre. I thought it handled its a story very well. Now, don't go into this movie expecting some Oscar-winning movie. This is really a popcorn kind of movie, and I personally really enjoy a popcorn movie once in a while. This is kind of a turn your brain off, kind of sit back, relax, kick up your feet with your favorite drink, and just kind of let the movie guide you. This is kind of one of those movies where you don't really have to think too hard. There's a couple of things that you kind of have to pay attention to in order to get the full gist of what the story is about and how all the characters work together and how they are interconnected, which is a big thing in this movie. David Leitch, he relies a lot on flashbacks and on backstories to really make sure that the story he's trying to tell is at the forefront. And I think that is incredibly important in this film. Now, David Leitch assembles a pretty solid cast led by Brad Pitt, who is the main character of the movie. But also in the cast, there are also some other familiar faces like Aaron Taylor Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Joey King, and Zazie Beetz. The cast is very, very, very well cast. I thought the cast was great. Everyone played their character extremely well. The characters, in my opinion, really make this movie. I think it makes the movie incredibly enjoyable. And of course, that's through some very clever writing as well. But the cast really delivers solid performances, especially for an action movie, which is very unusual. But I thought that the way Leitch handled his actors and his story, they really all collaborated really nicely to create Leitch's vision, which I think was an incredibly thrilling time. However, the two actors that really stood out to me the most was Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. The two of them play a couple of brothers, and they really have some great chemistry together. They supply a lot of the movie's comedic tones. They supply a lot of the movie's humor. Again, their chemistry really sells the humor, and I had to chuckle a couple times. Just some of the things they say and some of the things they do when they interact with other characters. But really, the stars, in my opinion, of this movie are Aaron Taylor Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. I thought both of them really provide a lot of value to this movie. And if it wasn't for those two, I think this movie would be way less enjoyable. But those two really make the movie really fun and what it eventually turned out to be. Now, I have two cons for this movie, and the first one is I wish we got a little bit more of Brad Pitt. Now, I know there was a lot of other characters that they had to get to in order to have the story be completely hashed out, but I feel like Brad Pitt, to a degree, was a little bit sidelined in this movie, and I wish we got a little bit more of him. The second gripe I had with this movie was that it does take its sweet time to kind of unfold. You kind of have to just sit there and let the movie tell you what is going on without you trying to figure it out yourself, which can be a turnoff for some people. So just a fair warning, it does take its time to kind of unravel itself so that you can fully understand what's going on, so keep that in mind. Overall, David Leitch's Bullet Train, in my opinion, is one of the best movies of the year that I have personally seen. I think there's just a lot of fun to this movie. There's not a lot of movies this year where I can say it was genuinely fun, and this movie provides the fun. I had a great time watching this movie. Again, I watched it on Netflix, so if you have Netflix, you can watch it right now. And I think it is right now, currently for me, a top 5 film of 2022. So that's it. That is my review of David Leitch's Bullet Train. If you liked what you watched, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, turn on the bell notifications. For every time I post a video, you will get notified and it will be in your inbox waiting for you. Also, you can follow me on letterboxd.com at Film Overload, and it's right there. It's also in the description as well. I will have my Letterboxd posted in the description if you want to read the typed review on Letterboxd of the movie that I am reviewing here right now. Thanks for watching this video, and as always, happy movie watching.